7, you mean?
What's up, guys? It's here. Hey, guys, it's here. I just started a live stream. Let's go. I started a live stream right now. It's already 7 o'clock, guys. It's literally 7 o'clock. It's literally 7 o'clock. It says it's still 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes until this starts. 2023. Let's go. Oh my god, I forgot. Oh, the timer, is it me or the timer just turned red? Why did the timer just turn red? Oh my god. It's already like 7. Bro, before I started the stream, someone donated $100. Where is it? Oh god, it was this one. $100. That's crazy. That is just crazy that they got donated $100. Oh my god, that's just crazy. Two more minutes. 2 more minutes. Oh my god. 2 more minutes. Oh my god. 2 more minutes. Oh my god. Right here. 2 more minutes. Oh my goodness. Whew, 2 more minutes. Let's go. Oh, 1 more minute. 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 1 more minute, bro. This is just crazy. 1 more minute. I'll be right back. back. Already 32 seconds? That's just crazy. Alright. Oh my goodness. The day has finally come, y'all. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Whoa, let's go Glitch X 2023. It's here. Oh, let's go, it's here.
Glitch X is an event about bringing the entire indie animation community together and celebrating all the wonderful and amazing shows that appear throughout the years.
We have an amazing lineup in indie animation to the entire world. There's so many amazing stories and art styles
Whoa,
out there.
amazing digital
Circus
circus.
can only be possible in the Western world with independently funded animation. And with all that said, we have an incredible program. Let's line it up and we'll go through all the fun segments.
Whoa,
First up at
yo.
4:10 p.m., we have an AMA with Liam Vickers, where we will be talking about all things murder drones.
At 5 p.m., we'll be having an Indie Creators Roundtable with Ian Vickers, Goose
Oh my
Lunch,
God.
Tracy Butler, Samir Palo,
you
and
get
Vivian
so far?
Medrano, where we'll be talking
my
about the state
God.
of indie animation and what it takes to make an animated show.
Next at 6:30 p.m., we'll have an
Amazing
interview with
Digital
AMA with
Circus.
Ghostworks, creator of the amazing Digital Circus.
Did you
At
get
7:15
the
p.m., we'll be having a
two
voice actor
ICs
game
from
show with
Series?
several amazing voice actors and hosted by Saber Spark.
Finally, at 8:15 p.m., we'll be making a big announcement.
We are really excited for the show today, and we hope you guys enjoy it as well. But before we begin,
The
we
popcorn
have
bag
one
of
announcement
chips.
we want to make.
Oh, that's
Let's
right.
go.
Run the clip.
Glitch Productions. Glitch. We're gonna have a new Glitch logo?
Glitch is here to revolutionize and synergize the way we do content
Wait,
strategy.
or they're gonna have the same.
Innovative-
The popcorn one.
Oh!
No, Kevin, what did we say about talking like that? Bad.
And it has the same
Let's
movie
show them
theater
what
on
we're
it.
actually all about.
Oh my god.
Glitch is an independent animation studio which we founded with one main goal.
To make unique animated shows and tell stories that could never have existed in the Western world without independently funded
Wow.
animation.
Through this and supporting
Jax!
indie creators, we believe we can help popularize indie animation as this incredible creative
No.
community capable of introducing new stories and art styles that no one has ever seen before.
So please join
Wow,
us here at
this is-
Glitch. We have so many shows to share and plenty more to come.
Your support means everything to us, so let's grow this entire community together.
And just bring a box of the canned iced tea.
He's been the Peter Griffin.
Because
He's been the Peter Griffin death.
and get me a bottle of tea.
Are they gonna have a new
We're
Glitch
a new
logo?
set, and as you just saw, we have a brand new trailer.
That's like the old trailer was very, very old.
Yep, that was there since we started the company, started the channel, and we think since then we've evolved a lot.
Yeah, we definitely know what kind of stories we want to tell and the kind of company we want to be. And we think this new logo that you saw really encapsulates all that energy.
That's right. We have new branding all around. And
So they're gonna change their
We're
logo.
very ready for the next steps of Glitch, and we're ready to take that step with you guys.
Wow.
Without further ado, Luke, why don't we begin Glitch X?
Let's go. Let's go into the first segment.
It's Liam Vickers.
Whoa. All right, let's go. Oh my god. Liam Vickers, don't ask why drones don't wear pants. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Hello! What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the first segment of Glitch X. We have our incredible guest here, Liam Vickers, creator of Murder Drums. How you doing, Liam?
Hey, I'm doing good. What's up, guys? Cool shirt, Luke. Average shirt, Kevin. I see their allegiances lie.
You like the plush toys?
Yeah, I love them.
Plush toys back here.
Hey.
Look at them. Wow.
Very cool.
Wow,
stuff.
little plushy toys.
Classy.
Thank you, man. We have a very fun segment today. So, Liam, we have some burning questions we really want to ask you. And you're gonna do your best to let us know what's going on, what makes you tick. A lot of Murder Drones related questions.
And then on to our question, we're going to pass it over to the fans. They're going to be giving you some questions.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing an AMA, and there'll be some instructions later for the people watching, all the viewers watching abroad, on how to do that. And then at the very end of the segment, we have a special announcement to make with you, Liam Vickers.
That's me.
No. Okay. All right.
Sounds
Well,
like a plan.
sounds really good. Let's get right into it. First things first. Then, can you give the audience, maybe those who haven't seen Murder Drones, a summary of what Murder Jones is. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yes, for those just dropping in, Murder Drones. It's a show. It's about we got these like autonomous worker robots that were built to just operate heavy machinery and do other human-related tasks that people don't want to do. And the story kind of follows them after getting abandoned on this kind of crappy apocalyptic ice planet after all the humans die. It kind of follows their story of initially having this epic robot utopia until these spooky murder drones show up and start doing their namesake all over the place. And we kind of follow our main character Uzi, who's this angsty little robot filled with rage at the way the world is.
One of them just fell.
And then she teams up with one of these
Ed fell.
murder drones. N, who's a sweet little lovable goofball.
Live recreation of Murder Drones.
Look at him go. Yeah. This is a full fidelity 4K Murder Drones episode right there. And basically follows their story, figuring out what happened to all these humans, what's going on here. Fair warning, it's a sci-fi show. I regret to inform you there is lore, but there's also lots of cool stuff. I am pleased to inform you, despite being sci-fi, it has nothing to say about anything. We have no point to make. Just spooky stuff.
The spooky, funny robot show.
Yeah.
So one of the big questions that all of us have been keeping our minds in Ohio. We did a podcast earlier this year, Liv, just before we get deep into things. We had a podcast earlier this year. You mentioned in that podcast that we asked you, well, why don't any writers have pants? And you told us Murder Drones will never have pants, but in season 1, episode 3, and episode 4,
You see and wear pants. You put it up on the screen. Thank you.
what is up with that?
Not the receipts, not the
Wait,
evidence.
what?
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, I remember
The biggest mistake.
I forgot.
Yes, originally none of the drones, because they're robots, like none of them were going to wear any clothes. And then it was like, wow, I mean, are they robots or is this just a creative way to show a crap ton of gore on screen? Maybe they can wear clothes because that's a way to differentiate them. I think a lot of ways they're kind of smart-ish production decisions in terms of like, oh, they're all the same character. They just have different accessories, different clothes, different hair, stuff like that. So it also became a way to like make the drones different. But yeah, it was basically just like, they don't need pants. Why would they do that? They just need just enough clothing to differentiate them. But then turns out, it was a trick. I was keeping you guys on your toes. We can do pants. Technology's amazing. We
The
can
old
do anything.
switcheroo.
Yeah.
I remember Murder Drones used to be like very different from its inception.
Yeah.
How did you? Why Murder Drones? How did it all start?
Yeah, I think like the original premise again was like I think a deep-seated fear of CG production and like the kind of what has to go into making a show with like a high scope. So the original thought, oh man, the good old days, was like, all right, robots are easier to animate and model, to take in kind of the Pixar approach of like, oh, we can do toys. Like people are going to look nightmarish, but we can do toys. Similar kind of stuff inorganic.
Do we have an image of that? I think you might have an image now. But keep going.
I love that. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I think originally it was like a way to purely make it easier on production. Was like let's do robots. Also, I'm just
This is what it used to look like.
that are still kind of human-like, but have their own little perks.
Oh, this is like the old version.
Work and stuff. But yeah, and then it was set on a snowy planet because I think that's a little easier on like texturing. Like the whole wasteland aesthetic is leads itself to minimalism. So basically, the original idea was
It used to be like this big, right? Like I remember the worker drones were usually have like original human size.
yeah.
They would be like tiny little, it's like in Inception of Toy Story where Buzz Lightyear was like a little being.
Yeah, and Woody was this horrifying monster. I think originally, it was kind of like going for like a little bit of like a Pikmin approach almost, where like I think in my brain it's like, ooh, it'll be a reveal. Like we'll think not like a big reveal, but it'll be just like little hints that they're like kind of smaller scale than like people. But then it turned out they need to interact with people. And the story kind of became its own little thing, so they were scaled up over time.
Wow. Really cool.
Yeah, that's
Alright,
weird.
well, let's go right on to the next question. Liam, what's your favorite moment from Murder so far?
Um, yeah, I mean, I like a lot of them. I think what's so fun about the show, I think, is like, um, I would consider it a loosely strung together series of set pieces, which means we have a lot of fun with those set pieces. I always obviously really like doing the horror sequences. I think my favorite beat that I still feel like lands pretty well, and I think was kind of a big like oh shit moment, which is always really fun. Is I think in episode 2 there's one where they shoot they hear some spooky sounds. There's a wacky tentacle hand thing, and they shoot a missile kind of into the darkness of this kind of like storage area they're in. And I think the sound design, the animation, and just like every team really put it all together to like have this spooky moment of like revealing this unknowable horror kind of in the darkness. And I think we've done, even more fun, more spooky, more impressive stuff. But I think just that moment as like kind of like it helped me determine like, oh, cool, this is kind of what I want the show to feel like. Like I want more of these kinds of moments. So yeah,
That's exciting. So, buddy question for me.
yeah.
What happened to Thad? He was, you see him in...
Yeah, where's that?
Where's
Yeah,
Thad?
where'd he
Like,
go?
episode 2 or 3, he just disappeared from the show.
He was-
all the fans, Liam.
It was too powerful. Yeah, I think he was a character I think from kind of an earlier inception of kind of the show's premise. I think like season 1, I think show's still kind of finding what it is, like its tone, where we're spending most of our time, and I think Thad was very much like if it was more of a kind of slice of life, kind of like truly monster of the week type thing. He would be a character there. It kind of turns out we pretty quickly the character, like the stakes in the characters kind of outgrew kind of just going to school. It's a little hard to justify that when, there's crazy, insane Eldritch stuff happening. So it's like, all right, Dad, you stay in school, be a good child. We'll come back to you later.
There used to be a big plan for Thad, right? Like, maybe we can tell the fans, tell the audience, what episode 2 originally was going to be.
Yeah, that's right. There was.
Next
It's
one
going to
is
be very
Liam
different. Yeah, I don't know, like,
Dickinson,
maybe you can disclose what you're
Tracy
disclose, right?
Butler,
Thad was going to be a big part of that as
Sir
well.
I don't-
That on stage.
Hilo,
Yeah, give me some fans.
And
Give me that boy.
Vinci
He's so
Pop.
wholesome. I think the other thing is like, I mean, every character's wholesome. I think that's part of what I like to try and push for in Murder Drones. Is like, sure, there's it's a very edgy show technically on the surface, and like there's a bunch of stuff happening, but like the characters all are pretty straightforward, well-meaning people, and Thad's a lovely child. I don't super remember honestly the original episode 2 premise. Do you have
You
the?
wrote the whole script for it. You wrote the whole thing.
It was a zombie invasion?
Yeah, and then you
Yes.
picked up the script and you're like, nah, I don't want it. And you just
Yeah.
threw it out. You worked on that for so long, you just burnt the script like,
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was a zombie invasion.
Yes, yeah. I think there's that very like initial like, ha, do you get it thing that I tried to make work a bunch of times with like the zombie virus because it's a computer virus. And really tried a few iterations to get that story to work. And I think it got a little close to. I mean, this is bold coming from me with the whole Eldritch possession thing, but I think the zombie stuff always gets a little close to like mind control narratives, and I just find those kind of not always super satisfying because it feels like it just kind of takes the agency away from the characters. And I think there's definitely a way to do it. I just couldn't figure it out in the episodes that we wanted it, so pushed in a different direction. But yeah, definitely Thad has had his ups and downs in terms of being part of the story, and I am regretful our poor beautiful boy. But if it makes you feel better, he gets to like hang out, like he doesn't have to deal with the horrors of the world, so he gets to play sports and things.
That's the best ending with them. Just playing sports,
Yeah.
all worrying about what's going on outside.
So so on to the next question. We last left off Uzi and they're down in the elevator somewhere deep and dark. What's next for our heroes? That we can tell right now.
Yeah, well, so it turns out that was all a dream. They wake up, oh, wow, that was crazy. And then they hang out for a little bit.
Cool. And it's back to high school shenanigans.
Yeah. That's the main character. Yeah, we the opposite of that. I think the series as it progressed, which I think you know is it's not it is intentional. I would say. Yeah, found something supremely silly.
Oh my god.
Supremely kind of self-serious. We're still very silly, but really
Thank you.
trying
We went
to.
from Beans Have Beauty to Salty Spittoon.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so we're having fun kind of dealing with sludge drama now. We got to warm into those poor boys. They deserve it because of something. I don't know what, but trust me, it's good. It's good. Yeah, no, it's very cool. I'm really excited for the next episode. You guys are gonna, ooh, it's gonna be good.
Thank you, George.
So,
Thank you, George.
we're gonna more of a question related to you. I know you love those questions, but we've always want to know how did you get into animation? Like, what's been your journey from drawing your first little guy all the way to yeah, where you are now? making
Right,
your-
right. Yeah, so first it was little guys, and then I was able to draw slightly bigger, and that was a big help, because, you know, it was too small. You couldn't see. You needed a microscope. Yeah, I started, I think my initial, like of filmmaking was like, ooh, filmmaking, that's right. We're not making cartoons, we're making films! No! Was I was really into visual effects, so like big explosions and stuff, and I think that was my way of like kind of covering up child me and my child friends' god awful acting and storytelling abilities. It's like, well, you know, don't worry about that. Here's this big explosion. Has anything changed? That's up to the viewer to decide. But yeah, that's kind of where my initial interest came from. Kind of compositing and VFX. Highly recommended. It's super fun. After Effects. And then from there, it kind of became like, well, this is great, but also I'm really into telling more of the story side of stuff. So that kind of transitioned into more storyboarding. I wouldn't consider myself a great artist. I'm definitely not the best character designer. I'm not super specialized in any of those like specifically art skills, but I really put a lot of tokens into kind of storyboarding, which is for those who don't know, it's basically just like, I think the best way to think of it is like a comic kind of. You're doing comic panels that the animation will then use kind of as a base to work from. It's kind of the best, very simplified way to think about it. But yeah, so I really got really into that. I think it's super fun. It's kind of the stage of the animation process where you
I'm ready, y'all.
kind of are giving
Chat,
characters
I'm
acting. You
ready.
figure out like you know, how they deliver a line and like how that acting changes the intention of the line, as well as picking shots and like, you know, the flow and feel and pacing of the story and stuff. So that just became my favorite thing to do ever in the whole world, and will never stop. Yeah.
How did so you made your own pilot all by yourself before this like took this out?
Yes.
How was that just a way to exercise your storyboarding, or did you just have like a really good story you wanted to tell there?
Yeah, I think I always, like, definitely my goal for a long time was right to like be a showrunner, to make a show, and I figured the best way to like.
You're living the dream, baby.
Well, look at me go! Started from pretty well off, and now I'm here. Yeah. Yeah, so Flipside was basically, basically like, I don't know if I can I make a full episode? And turns out, yeah, you can't sleep a whole lot, but you can do it. Yeah, I think it was a nice way to go through the whole process, because it was, for people who don't know, it was basically just like in, college where I went, so I went to an animation school, but it wasn't specifically an art school, it was a school that also had an animation program. Anyway, you kind of get a course where you get pretty much like a year to just make a thing, which is great, because, yeah, how often are you afforded just like a year of time to like kind of do a thing you're passionate about? Super awesome, very lucky to have been able to do that. Anyway, so I just worked on that during that time and tried to. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So, like, the funny thing is, like, that is the piece of content we saw on YouTube that drew us to, like, that was the reason we first reached out to, which is incredible that you just, like, were at home. I'm assuming you were at home at the time or in college or wherever. You're like, I'm just gonna make a thing. You know, you use some software. You made your own indie pilot.
Yeah.
what's that? That's really cool.
And then we went to a board, and then 2 years later, we were working on a full reanimated Sony Labs. It's wild that we can do that nowadays.
Look at us go. No, it's been really great, and I think it's been really awesome because that was a very different experience because it was it was all me. I had super awesome. I had a great sound designer on it. I had somebody helping me with backgrounds who's a super awesome artist. But for the most part, it was a lot of just me doing everything by myself, which is awesome in its own way because you get kind of a lot of that control. And I think that for better or worse, I think that's kind of the most like boiled down my voice thing that I can imagine. Versus Murder Drones, which is very much more like a team thing, which in a lot of ways is super awesome because not only is it less stress, but it's also like other people giving their ideas to like turn it into something that is surprising even to me in very good ways. So yeah, it's awesome.
So we're gonna hand it over to the amazing audience. So guys in chat, what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up an AMA. How this is gonna work is the type of questions you have to Liam now.
Of course, there are so many fans watching. We want to get to all more, but we just can't. So we'll try our best. And please do not write any comments or like.
We're not gonna answer anything that will get us cancelled, or that'll be too spoilery for the show. For very obvious reasons, but we'll answer some good ones. So start getting them now. And we'll chuck up our first question. Ooh, Liam Vickers. Okay, that's Dad.
Hello, Dad.
Kanoya asks, how do drones grow?
Oh boy. Right, this deep lore. The real answer, the quick real answer is you thinking about it? Don't think about it. Think about it. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it. It's not part of it. But I think it's very much kind of the idea of like they're basically just they're super like human analogous, right? So it's like they kind of go through similar stages. So they start out as those weird little gold babies. That's just like, all right, we got this like neural network that doesn't know what's going on. It's like a little sociopath creature, kind of like children are, and we don't want that thing to have, the strength of industrial machinery. We probably should not give that thing limbs in a grip that could like squeeze the life out of somebody. So it's a pill. Don't worry about it. Think about your actions for a bit. And then I think once they're a certain maturity, who decides that? I don't know. Should they decide it? Or is there abuse of power going on there? We don't know. That's, again, not the show. But, yeah, I think you put them into progressively, like, more capable bodies. It's very similar to that, oh god, what was the studio? Anyway, it's called Robots.
Robots?
Yes, that's a great little silly movie.
Was that Blue Sky?
No.
Oh man.
Oh, I remember
look at
Robin
us.
Williams.
The animation community, they're gonna kick our butts. Anyway,
Next question.
Similar vibe.
Next question. Let's pull it up.
Okay, that's Lisa asks, how do you come up with the animations of their mouths? Like that mouth style.
Super cartoony.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I think. I mean, I really can't take any credit for that. I think so. I have a style that I draw mouths, which is just I don't know. It's just how I do the thing.
You have that signature smile that you do, right?
Totally. There's a big old grin. Very fun. They're really happy about how happy they are. But yeah, so I kind of have a style that I draw stuff, which is very 2D inspired, where you can just kind of put them out wherever you want to really kind of push those expressions. And it's really we're super on the rigging and modeling team who was able to translate that into 3D, which I think is
3D modeling team.
go. Because yeah, it's not a super easy task. It's easy to draw kind of whatever you want because no rules, baby. But in 3D, it's like no, but can it actually do that?
I remember it was really funny because Liam has these tiny, he likes growing these tiny little mouths, and it got from tiny to massive mouth and stand inside your face.
Imagine this, trying to grow this mouth into like a giant smile.
That's hard in 3D. It's really hard in 3D.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, big props to the team. The style is just kind of what it is, but I do think it's super awesome. Yeah, what the team is able to do in terms of making that cartoony style really work with the characters, make them feel cohesive and not because I think that's the fun of 3D is it's so easy to make stuff look just nightmarish, just the worst. But hopefully it looks pretty good. So try that out.
All right, next question. We have let's pull it up. Agent Umber asks, if you could have the drones meet other series robots, what would they do? Oh, who would they do?
Other properties that involve robots.
I think that's what the question's asking, yeah.
Uh,
Who do you want to cross over with? What other robots do you want to
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
cross
trying to
over
think if
with?
there's any like robots that are really stuck in my brain. I'm trying to think if there's. I feel like they would go well with like any of the like super angsty Transformers, which I feel like there's a lot of. Because they're like, we got the weight of the world on our shoulders.
I think Uzi would go great with Transformers.
There's
Yeah.
like a giant power scale question there, like Optimus
Yeah.
Prime versus N-Wing, you know?
Yeah, I think it's very similar. Where you're like, oh, silly. Oh, the car turns into a robot. That's fun. And it's like, no, it's not fun. It's very serious. The fate of the world depends on it. You're like, whoa. All right. Cool. So it's very similar. I think they would get along with it.
And robots?
I mean, I like my life as a teenage robot. It was a fun show.
Your childhood wounds and trying to be perfect to receive the love from your mom? Or is that really...
Probably a lot of that. I think they had a lot of fun with like the mechanics of like the main character being a robot and being able to kind of like whole wacky robot stuff. So there's probably some definite inspiration there.
Oh, cool. Next question. Let's pull it up.
All right, pick.
Whatever they need, we like kind of get into like why they can do that a little bit. But yeah, the kind of idea is it's kind of like manufacturing those items as they need it for a situation.
Literal hammer space, like
Yeah.
from Hammer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, really just
I saw
Looney Tunes.
Ed had a phone in like one of the videos we just released. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
There's
they
everything
got,
there, man.
they got phones. I know it's kind of wacky because like aren't they computers? They should just like shouldn't they have just like telekinesis basically or whatever they're thought beaming to each other? Why do they need a physical phone? But I don't know because
The internet? Oh, they can message each other.
the interwebs. I created
What
that.
the hell is this?
Alright, we got the next question. Ink Dusting asks, how long can the motor drones last without oil?
Oh, that flat bread we definitely didn't drop.
Wait, real quick, before you answer this,
Yeah.
the whole oil thing that we did set up in the pilot, I was thinking like a massive oil pipeline throughout the season.
Yeah.
Sort of like, we were setting up the motor after we do vampires, right? And that was the whole last oil thing that set up. And then we sort of took a complete right turn from that bus there.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, I
That's
think it,
fucked up. There must be an answer, right?
Oh yeah, cool. I mean, I think so one there's the practicality of the game, just kind of the power scaling. It's like, all right, are these guys who like kind of want to eat one person occasionally? Who those really start stacking up to the villains who are getting more and more kooky, crazy bananas. And then the other side of it is just like, just like if what the plot focuses on, because it's like that is an area that is probably still a struggle, and there are probably like dilemmas to focus on there, and that could have been the show. It doesn't mean it's not happening in the background, it's just not what we're seeing. So it's that's a way to justify how we moved away from that in terms of what we're showing the audience, because in terms of like importance to kind of
Jose.
where I want the story to go.
Don't eat
that
no
ends up
more,
being
that's
like-
it. Go put it away. No more. You're getting full. You're gonna end up throwing up.
Yeah.
Go put it away.
Snacking.
For tomorrow.
I love this thing that I love the little Easter eggs on like how the motor drones like eat. You know, like sometimes you see them with batteries on like a stick, putting them over a fire.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
tiny little details like that.
I know.
Hilarious.
I tried so hard to like. You'd be surprised how hard it is to not include a food day at some point. I think just as people were like, food, that's a big part of our experience on this planet is eating stuff. And so it's very tempting to include food bags. And I held off for a little bit, but eventually, the silly battery stuff had to come in.
Let's go on to the next question.
Yeah, let's pull it up.
How was the music composition for the first photo?
Ooh, freaking AJ, our super amazing composer. Yeah, I think I originally had kind of like a main
Simple
theme in
dimple,
mind,
Bobby
which was like that
Squish.
very kind of simple, hooky, dramatic kind of theme. I'm super, and I think AJ as well was super keen to kind of meld minds with me on this, but I'm very very into themes, so I like it when it's like kind of the same melody played with different kind of like colors, kind of like different tonal like intentions to it. Other musical buzzwords and stuff. But yeah, a big fan of that. So I think like the original kind of idea was like having this main theme for kind of what we originally think is like it's kind of the murder drones theme, and then we're like, oh no, maybe it's actually what's controlling the murder drones, and then it's like, well, what is that? So it kind of plays into the mystery of like, what is this theme? What is it for? That sort of stuff. So I think that was kind of the initial conception, and then I think it was just kind of a matter of AJ and I kind of thinking about references, like what sorts of music like really inspired us and felt like it worked for the tone of the show, which is like this the show is very self-serious, but also silly. It's self-serious presenting, where we're very dark, everything's dramatic, but the characters are very kind of like more grounded and silly with stuff. So that
Like
kind of
you,
meant
just like you.
yeah. Yeah. So I think it meant that like we wanted the score to be very over dramatic and like super played straight, like very gothic, you know, kind of
Simple dimple, Bobby
darker,
Squish,
like
Bobby Squish.
electronic type stuff. So yeah, and then basically I think it's a great question for AJ because he's amazingly talented and I think he crushed it. Like the score's so awesome and it's such a big
so
part of the
good.
show. So
Yeah, he added like in the recent ones, he started adding a choir in the background.
Yes.
So it adds to so much.
yeah, that was definitely something we want to do because like again, it's one of those like haha, get it type of things where it's like they're robots. It's weird to hear humans singing. So yeah, we kind of wanted that disconnect.
Yeah, let's move on. Next question. Let's pull it up. Mr. Cool Guy asks, who would win, murder drones or Pepino spaghetti? Is it? Liam, is Pepino lobster spaghetti?
Do you even know who Pepino is?
Oh, thank goodness you said that because no. What
You ever
is
play
that?
Pizza Tower?
Do you not know Pizza Town? The hit game?
Oh, is that the main character? Is that the playable character?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I look at me, uncultured gamer, fake gamer over here. I don't know. Okay, probably.
I could do
I'll make
anything.
a pizza. He'll make a pizza and be like, damn, alright, you win. You know what? You're doing pizza.
And
Yeah.
does N like pizza?
I think
Does anyone know what a pizza is?
conceptually, yes.
Does Italian cuisine exist on Papa Nothing?
Man, we're asking the real questions now. We gotta pause. We gotta freeze frame. We gotta zoom in on all the destroyed buildings and see if we got some pizzerias in there.
Yeah.
We'll never know, I guess. Even Liam doesn't know.
Even
the
Liam
answer.
doesn't know. We're on to the next question.
Alright, let's move on to the next question. Chris asks, how did the drones gain emotion? Did they always have them?
That's necessary for performing tasks. It was kind of a basic limited version, and I think we've implied that the kind of disaster that happened on the planet that left them kind of stranded kind of played to their like adaptive kind of AI abilities to like it starts with like you need a sort of intelligence to not like fall over, to know if you get pushed, you should put your leg out like that, those creepy Boston Dynamics dogs. You need a sort of intelligence to like to correct yourself, and the idea of the robots in this show is that they have that, and it kind of like it expands to like keeping them alive in various circumstances. So if the entire planet of humans is wiped out, they're gonna start prioritizing self-preservation, and that kind of is what led to this kind of near human society that they had, because that's just kind of the environment that they were left with. That's the basic idea there, and then we see even on like Earth, like we kind of have the like kind of butler drones that are kind of like these kind of nerf sentient type guys, and then you have these kind of more damaged drones that Tessa is collecting that like kind of once they're like kind of messed with enough, that kind of adaptiveness takes over, and if they're kind of like taken care of in a way that like leads to them being more humanish, they'll kind of grow towards that direction. kind of the idea. If I had to,
That's creepy and also hate.
It's terrifying. What if that happened in real life?
I mean, it's kind of one of those things of like, it's a silly sci-fi trope because like I don't want my toaster to have feelings. Like that doesn't help it or me. But you know, it's fun.
Makes for fun.
Let's move on to the next question. Alright, Overcharged asks, where did the inspiration for the Raptors come from?
Ooh. Oh, I love the Raptors.
Sentinels. The Sentinels.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I think the idea, like the idea for like just the basic concept of them was like we need something that has been designed because initially we think, oh, the murder drones were created by humans. Spoilers, they weren't. And so we're like, okay, but what if I'm a human? What would I then kind of invent to fight off that threat? Like, what would my version of an intentional like creature meant to specifically combat those types of robots be? And because we're humans and we're over dramatic, and also we love dinosaurs, my thought was like, okay, maybe the scientists, you know, got a little cheeky and kind of designed these like specifically kind of ambush style creatures, kind of pulling from those types of designs to make these robots that specifically have these kind of advantages against the disassembly drones because they prioritize being sneaky and being clever, and obviously they have this super OP like you know, Harry Potter's, you know, basilisk style petrifying gaze. Yeah, so basically some science, but mostly I think because they were designed by humans, it was humans being like, yeah, we humans like intentionally kind of making them look a little cool.
When you were designing them, was it just did you just like watch Jurassic Park or something, or how do you coin the Sentinels?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of it. I think a lot of the credit has to go to Max, who's our 3D designer, because my initial concept was like basically just like, you know, I don't know, you know, it's a robot, but it's a dinosaur, but it's got robot pieces. I'm always very obsessed with, I have certain design sensibilities that I'll kind of reuse over and over and over and over and over. And one of those is like, I really like, especially for like dinosaurs, something about dinosaurs' skulls. I think obviously because paleontology, like that's kind of the way we experience dinosaurs the most. I just really like the 3 eye hole structure, which is obviously not 3 eyes, it's like their scent gland. Dinosaur nerds are gonna get all up in my business. But anyway, that kind of became the 3 cameras on the side of
The
their head.
dinosaur something.
Yeah.
Murder drones. I remember like when we were coming up with them. This is like way before when you know, Murder Drones was really like really in like smaller show. They were originally going to be like, oh, if we couldn't do dinosaurs, we just do floating orbs, I guess. As the
Yes.
Sentinels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were gonna do
Remember
like
that?
a what's his face from Wheatley. Yeah, like, you know, just like orb style guys. 'Cause, yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I still cannot believe how amazing the animation on
Oh,
the
dude,
Sentinels
they
is.
turned out so well.
I think every animator had at least one shot with dinosaurs, and all of them crushed it. They're so cool. Yeah, I love those things. But yeah, basically, I always try to have kind of a backup plan of like, okay, this is pretty crazy. This is pretty crazy to animate. Like, I don't know if we can do, because everything up until then, other than the giant worm, had been more or less like pretty humanistic things, right? So like bipedal like things, which are, you know, not easy to animate for sure, but like are at least kind of all similar. So to do like a full-on animal creature, yeah, it's kind of up in the air of like, can we handle that in terms of like production? And so it's like, one, it's so cool that we pulled that off. But yeah, we definitely had a fallback plan of like, they're just floating orbs, you know, that way we don't have to worry about animating frickin' dinosaurs.
All right, let's move on to the next question. Going up, Epic Gamer Boy asks, how did you think of the design of the Eldritch? Eldritches.
Just all the various guys.
All the
I'm assuming just like the flesh.
yeah, the
Yeah.
influence, the Eldritch influence.
Sure. I think like the very original idea came from, I think I'm obviously very obsessed with like kind of creepy biomechanical stuff. So I think like the initial inception of like specifically like the eldritch kind of limbs that we see. So it's like the J worm snake thing has these sort of like creepy limbs that are like scythes or like tentacles or all this stuff, and they have this kind of because the murder drones have this kind of like warning stripe pattern all around them.
I'm gonna have to end the stream. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh my god, I'm so tired.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, wait, what is going on? How do you come up with this?
He's such a like cheerful guy, and then he.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
It's like, it's so funny, like,
Bye. I will do this tomorrow.
Really, like, cheerful and happy, and then his work is like, what the
Yeah,
hell?
people getting squeezed through holes.
Yeah, Lynn's the same thing. Next
Yeah.
question. We got the next question.
See you guys tomorrow because I don't have enough time.
Mario vs. Luigi 360
Bye.
asks, what are your thoughts on the fandom making the old Murder Jones OCs?
So
And old Murder Jones OCs.
Ooh.
It's the last
Yeah,
day for
I think it's
me.
awesome. I think like go off. I am really impressed. People are able to. I literally feel like I ran out of design concept ideas. There's only so many hairstyles and jackets you can put on these guys, and they otherwise
There's a-
look identical.
There's like an OC maker. There's a Murder Drones OC maker that exists somewhere on the internet.
Oh, I gotta use that.
Your nightmare, I'm about to get ready. Rules are right here.
Substance use and addiction can be a heavy load to carry. See how you can help or get help at canada.ca/ease the burden.
Can't wait to meet you. So join me in the Trolley family. We open real soon. Join us in the world of Saturday. Get to know me. I don't wanna leave after tonight. You've been through 20 long, faithful nights. You see their faces, felt all their minds. You know I'm sure the suffer from all. And Freddie told us you're an organ donor. Eyes on you. We can walk you through all their fantasy. What we've gone through. We can teach you to grow with your tragedy. You fought your nightmares and I'm back at Freddy. I don't know what I was thinking.
Leaving my child behind. Now I suffer the curse, now I am blind. With all these attributes outside the coming to me forever. I can't wait for the clay at the end of the river.
Is this revenge I'm seeking? Or seeking someone to avenge me? Stuck in my paradox, I wanna set myself free. Me, I should stay somewhere. No, that's hard to stop it.
wish I lived in the present with the gift of my past mistakes. But the future keeps luring in like a pack of snakes. Your sweet little eyes, your little smile is all I remember. Those fuzzy memories mess with my temper. Justification is killing me. The killing isn't justified. What happened to us fun? I'm terrified. It lingers in my mind and the thought keeps on getting eager. I'm sorry, my sweet baby, I wish I'd been there. It's been so long since I myself seen a son lost to this monster, to the man behind the slaughter. Since you've been gone, everything is to be done. So I wonder the sanity of the
The subtitles.